Hi again. For those that pay attention to my dumbass. Hi. I'm going to try to keep this short, but those that know me know that probably not going to happen, but we're going to give it a shot. Currently, I am getting ready to gear up for a new semester of university at 62. I'll be 63 in about 3 weeks, maybe 4. But that's beside the point. The only thing about any of that that pertains to my thoughts this evening is this. I am 62 fucking years old. And yeah, I spent 40 years, almost 40 years in prison. My entire life, my entire knowledge base, my entire experience, my entire social interaction, my everything is based on that 38 years in prison, period. Anybody that deals with me understands that I see things from a different perspective than all of you clowns who spent the last 40 years on the street. My other advantage is the fact that I've been able to not just exist and survive for 7 years in your world. I've excelled. And I did it against everything that normal doctrine for an ex-convict to go through. But even that doesn't matter this evening. When Donald Trump was elected, way back when, before the darkness, I was still in prison. My world was dark. I had a conversation with my mother on the telephone. And she was losing her shit. Point blank. But you must remember that I went to prison on a life sentence when Ronald Reagan came into office and introduced trickle-down economics. Even with all the turmoil that I was going through while I was 18, 19 years old, trying to figure that shit out. And I'm talking about my life sentence. When I heard the philosophy of how trickle-down economics, Reaganomics, Republicanics, who are behind it, but that you want to dance with that fucking sword, you got my address. Come see me. 18, 19-year-old kid facing a life sentence, even I figured out that shit wouldn't work. All right, now jump ahead. 16, 17. Right before I went up for parole the last time. When Donald dumped Trump, Von Shits and Pants, whatever you want to call him, I don't give a fuck. He's a piece of shit. If he was on a fucking prison yard, they'd have stomped his fucking skull to mush. Period. Because that's the type of person he is. In my world. And yeah, even though I've been on the street for 7 years, prison is still my world. After all, I am a lifer. A real lifer. It's even in black and white, in print. If you think that's fucking conspiracy. Fuck all that bullshit. I told my mom at 16, this country needed somebody like Trump to pick it up by its fucking ankles and shake it and bang its head against the wall a few times. If we survive it, I told her, and I think I've said it since then, on video somewhere, we will step into what science fiction often calls the golden era. prosperity, growth, social evolution, all that good stuff. Apparently I clocked myself. This week I've been watching the Democratic National Convention. And I don't just watch one side. Unlike Fox viewers who seem to be addicted to that particular heroin. I survived 40 years in prison because I pay attention. Not just one side. Don't like one side, but this after I've seen it, analyzed it, chewed on it, didn't like the taste of it, and spit that shit out. There's a tsunami coming, and Donald Trump's not going to like it. And here's the kicker, and it's what I'll leave you on tonight. Ever since Reagan came into office, I've been waiting, watching, knowing that that shit was gonna fucking blow down the fucking... And now I get to not only see what I pinned how many years ago, but I get to be on the street. I get to be here and participate. Because here's the last kicker. They gave me back my right to vote because even though I killed a motherfucker for trying to kill me, I did mine. I paid my dues. 38 years worth. And now I'm a full citizen again. The gun part, I'm not anti-gun. Grew up one, shot them, military, all that bullshit. I just don't give a fuck. It's not that important. Guns are not that important to everyday life. Period. And that's all I'm going to say about guns. You want them? Great. But like Quigley said in that movie, just because I said I don't know how to use one, or I don't shoot one, doesn't mean I know how to use one. I have no problem with guns. They're just not my thing. And if you want to talk about the depth part, the psychological part of it, I'm easy to find. Reach out. We can have a conversation. I'd love it. But for tonight, we're at the crossroads. We're at the crossroads. And I'm leaning my way towards Kamala Harris, which is really, really funny. Because I am a true independent. I wonder why. Chewing why an ex-convict, ex-lifer who spent almost 40 years in prison could not lean Democratic or Republican. It's like them idiots that talk about, I don't care. I can show you what the fuck it means to don't care. Independent. A true independent sees the best of both sides and pulls from them accordingly. And no matter how much you care or don't care, A true independent always cares enough to think about it. And thinking about it is the first step to anything. And the second step, for those strong enough to do it, can be amazing. Until next time.